Hi Celeste, what's up? What's up? Thank you for joining. The request. Try to do that again.
Hi,
Ah,
Michael.
hi Celeste, how are you?
I'm okay. I'm so sorry for the delay. I just had to, yes, just unfortunate, but I'm here now
It's all good.
fully.
I hear you were busy being a musician. It was work.
Yes, I had to go. I got pulled into something and I had to sort that out. And so, yes, but I'm here now fully.
It's okay, it's okay. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad we can have the live. Welcome, welcome. How was your day? How's your day been?
To be honest, I think it's been quite calm. I think I've tried my best to maintain calmness, even though it was chaotic. But yes, how has your day been?
It's been a bit of a rest day. I took a few days off. Last week was intense. So no, no, I'm very happy I can. I'm very happy I can. I know from either from tomorrow or the day after, it's going to get hectic. So I'm enjoying today.
Oh wow,
I've already been preparing for the live. I've been preparing for the live. I was like, I have to come with some good questions today.
yes. That's very good to hear, to be honest. I'm very excited for what we have today. Woohoo!
Honestly, I feel like it's gonna be a really dope chat. Considering this, like I'm remembering the first one we had, so I'm really keen for everyone to hear, to meet you, both from East Africa and West Africa. I think it's gonna be a very beautiful, beautiful melting pot. A quick hello to everyone who has joined us. Thank you, thank you. My name is Michael Rumbi. I am here with the amazing Celeste Ojatula, and we are going to be chatting a bit about her music. She's an artist who I featured in my recent article of some indie picks with her song Awanlo, and I was telling him I'm just becoming a fan more and more. So yeah, uh, I don't think we need to give it any much longer since we have a few people in. So yeah, let's kick it. Celeste,
Yeah.
first question: Who is Celeste Ojatula?
Celeste Ujasula, first question. I'm listening to your first question.
Yeah, the first question is that who is Celeste
Who is oh,
Ojatula? Who is?
so that's a very interesting question. Who is Celeste Ujasula? Celeste Ojasula is, when we look at it from the music part of things, she is a very talented musician, producer, singer, songwriter. Her genres would most likely live in indie sound. Sometimes she would do electronic house sounds, things like that. But so far, so good. I would say that, in terms of experiences, being a musician, Celeste Ojasula she had had a time when she was off of music for a bit and then came back in 2024, did 2024, 2025, and then did a live show which was sold out, released an EP titled Allure, which also got a very, very lovely, critically acclaimed reviews from different places, and it had a lot of love. And so far so good. Celeste is now just planning towards a new EP called Our Time in the Sun. But personally, I would say that Celeste is also someone that is very calm and warm and likes to be inspired and to inspire people. So that's about it.
No, I love to hear that. I love to hear that. I feel like it really does show. I wanted to ask, could you tell us a bit about your music, a bit about your sound? I know you said you double in indie. I know you do a few other genres. I know you don't just sing, you don't just songwrite. There are a few other talents there as well. So maybe tell us a bit about, or a bit more about that.
Yeah, so with music, to be honest, I would say that it started from, I think it happens to a lot of music guys, if I'm being honest. But it started from when I was younger. I used to listen to a lot of interesting sounds. I actually grew up with a family that really has diverse types of sounds. So it was a case of like I would wake up in the morning and my dad is playing Sonny Ade or he's playing Don Moen, and then my sister is playing rock music like the Cranberries, like Avril Lavigne, and I have my brother that plays songs like Shadi Adu, which was something that I really liked. I really enjoyed, the songs at the time. Luther Vandross as well. So I grew up with a very large, should I say, encyclopedia of music sounds, right? And so it didn't seem very surprising when I started to make music. It became something that was embedded in how I make my music. So the genres are very different. I do a blend of genres because of how I've been able to interpret or understand sound in a sense. And so that's usually the way I, go about making my music. And so far, so good. When I was younger, I grew up, which is very interesting, right? So when I was younger, I grew up listening to Tales by Moonlight. We had moved into a new space, right? And we had like a moment when the community would come together and then they would tell tales at night. And so when the tales were done, we would now have instances where I would have to, or somebody, whoever the storyteller is in this case, they would, sing goodbye songs and, different songs in that context. And some of those songs actually do exist in the album, I mean the EP in this case, Alo. So yeah, so far so good. I'll say that, that's technically my experience with music so far and my journey, with music.
Okay, wonderful stuff. You've mentioned your EP, Allo, which I am a massive fan of. It's where I found the song Awanlo. I've also had the pleasure of listening to Light. Can you tell us a bit about the EP itself, some of the people who helped make it, and what it means to you?
Yes, so the EP itself is very, very personal to me. It's a dedication to my childhood and growing up and my experiences growing up. I Want Law, which is your favorite sound, is actually the song that they sing at the end of the night when the stories are done. So it's like, oh, we are going. So One Law means we are going till we meet again. May death not tear us apart and may sickness not tear us apart. So that's technically like the story behind that chorus, right? So usually that happens at the end of Moonlight. So Allah in general was really a reflection of what I had experienced growing up. I grew up listening to, these tales by Moonlight, and I also grew up reading a lot of Yoruba literature, right? So my mind was very in a box, right? And I was always imagining things. I wanted to be able to also transfer that imagination into music. Because if I look at it from the context of how I understand communication, right? My first mode of communication is actually not talking, it is music. I feel like there are different ways to be able to communicate how you feel or something in a sense, some mental imagery, right? And I wanted to be able to transfer that into our law based off of all the experiences that I had growing up. And so that's really, what had happened so far so good with our law. And yeah, so it's really a dedication to my childhood and the experiences I had over time.
Thank you very much. It's a very beautiful EP. I think for everyone who's in the live, if you haven't had a chance to listen to it, as soon as we're done, please do. I think you've also released a live version of the EP.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes.
And I know you were also mentioning sold out shows. So, I mean, I'd love to hear more about that. I'd love to hear about the live recording, just putting the show together, especially as an independent artist, as an indie artist, on the continent.
Yeah, so wow, that's a crazy question. So okay, so let's start with the live, right? So the live was really a dedication to how the original sounds were like, how I was working on it, how it was built in a sense, right? And I wanted to be able to recreate or re-energize that through the live versions, right? So actually, we even have that live, like the live videos across all the songs, except for our one low on YouTube. So everything exists as a documentary there. Now, in terms of, the event, I think one thing that the sold out show, right? One thing that was really crazy about it was I was very scared, I won't lie. I think that it was insane because if you think about it, I had not done music. So I started doing music in 2018, right? And then at some point I had to take a break, to more or less fund the music and, do things that I actually enjoy doing, right? So coming back in 2024, I think we sent an email to, I think the first thing that actually happened was Alliance Francaise. I'm sure you might know Alliance Française. So they have like event space where activities happen, and they had reached out that they wanted to host new artists in a sense. So that was like my first, should I say, product testing, where I was testing to make sure that people were still around and things like that, right? And then by the time it was my show, it was a lot of work. Me and my team, we had like a lot to do. It was also very scary because within the Nigerian context, right? I think we got to a point where close to maybe like 2 or 3 days to the event, we still had not sold out or sold as much as would have wanted, even though we did a lot of marketing, working with different influencers and then media teams to push the word out that I was having an event. I was also very, scared. But on the day, it was technically sold out on the day. By the time the show was about to start, everything was gone. Some people came later on, and they had to tell them that, yeah, sorry, gates are
All the
closed.
tickets are
You know,
done. Yeah, congrats.
it was actually crazy. But planning it, I lost. I think yes, we did lose a lot of weight. I lost a lot of weight because that's the thing about being an independent artist, right? You have to do a lot of things by yourself, which means that like when it comes to like the pre-production, production, post-production, you have to be able to worry about each of those details, right? So that period was very interesting because like we always had to think ahead of time to make sure that everything was going in smoothly as possible. And so yes, we did lose a bit at that point, but it was very, very important and it was fun. I was very excited at the end of the day because that was something that solidified everything for us. In 2024, I had done something that was like an EP listening. I'd invited friends to come around to a space that we had gotten courtesy of one of my fans, and we had invited people to come and listen to the sound, and that was good. But it's not compared to when you are having to do a show. It's a whole different ballgame entirely. So yes, based off of that show, I would say that now we're in a very good standing, especially because a lot of people had a beautiful time. I was very, very excited about the result. People wrote a lot of interesting things. People said they were inspired, and I think we were able to achieve the things I wanted to achieve from that show. And most importantly, one thing that I really like for people to do is actually imagine, right? Be able to imagine. And so they were able to imagine in the most interesting spaces, in the most interesting ways, and I really like that. So yeah,
Okay,
that's
congrats. It
that's
sounds like it was a great experience. And I think because it is available, you said it's only a one load that's not available. Yeah, but you can go listen to all of the other three tracks. Because I want to segue into some announcements about some stuff you might have. Could you maybe tell us what you want your listeners to feel and hear when you write, when you sing? Like, what is the message? What do you want them to connect with?
okay. I want them to connect to themselves, and not just to themselves, but to a larger version of themselves. How large can you be? What worlds? There's so many worlds to see, right? What worlds can you be in at that point in time, right? So I feel like whenever my fans or anybody that is new to the music wants to listen to the song, it's a thing where I want them to be able to imagine themselves in better places, in interesting spaces, and create a beautiful world for themselves when they sound.
That's so beautiful. Uh, I wanted to ask. So the year started. You've dropped some music for. I think Traveler came out this year.
No, it came out like last year.
It
Yes, it
came
came
out
out
last
like.
year.
Yes. But
That's
yes, are yes, I am working. I'm already working on a new EP. It's called Our Time in the Sun. In fact, it's actually
okay.
like we're with our distributors. Everything is set. Everything is good. So I mean, this is going to be the first time everyone will hear this. But yes, Our Time in the Sun is coming out May 29,
I,
and
I,
yes, so in order to make plans and plan around that, we're also releasing This Side of Love, which is a single out of the EP as well. So Traveler, This Side of Love, and then the new EP coming out in May. But yes, that's it.
Love that, love that. Traveler is such a vibe track to me. It's very indie pop, but it has like Afro percussive elements, and you kind of do that mix so well. And I love the way you blend it and the way you write. Please tell us a bit more about Traveler and tell us more about the EP. The announcement is great. They've heard it here first, but because I've had the pleasure of listening to it. It is, and I can't even say my favorite, but you know my favorite. I think we spoke about it.
Yes,
I
yes.
Yeah, I think just tell them a bit about it. It's a beautiful project.
Okay, okay. So let's start with Traveler, right? It's a very interesting thing. So I had became friends with this person called Blossom. Blossom had found me on Instagram ads actually. So I was doing lots of ads at the time for Alo, and she really liked Olurumbi. So let's say fast forward into a couple of months and all, she sent a message and said that oh she's trying to do a cultural exchange between Nigeria and I believe Cuba. And so the exchange was really for Yoruba, right? The Caribbean, they technically have within Baya, they have a a trace of Yoruba in a sense in the language that they speak. It's not the Nigerian Yoruba, but it's a different dialect, as well. So I was supposed to meet with Lueji Luna. Yeah, apparently. So Lueji Luna, is a Bayan artist. She's a Grammy Award winning artist, right? And so she came to Lagos at the time. And the idea was supposed to be a documentary where, women would talk about their experiences and things like that, right? And so she was in the space that we were in, and we waited for her because it was like, I'm trying to think, we're supposed to be there by 2 o'clock, right? 2 p.m. And then we waited for like an hour before she came. And so when she came, she looked all flustered, and we started having a conversation, and she started talking about Bayer. I have never been to Bayer. And we started talking about, okay, what's the difference between being in Nigeria as an indie artist and being in Bayer. And so she talked about how the government supports their music in those instances. So you can actually apply for grants, and Bayer is a lot more calm, and there is the chaos between there was just a stark difference between Lagos, which was extremely chaotic. In fact, the person
Mm.
that was hosting her in this context was even a bit like stressed that oh we have a lot of activities to do and Luigi is not even here yet and things like that. And Luigi comes in and she's looking all like calm and talking about how, wow, things are so crazy. And so she goes on this story about how Baya is calm, and I started daydreaming. Legit, I was just daydreaming about, oh wow, it's a stark difference from what Lagos is about, right? And it was also interesting because at the time that I saw Luigi, I had also started listening to her sounds. She had a song with Anais, it's called Todako. And so all of that came together. And of course, I started dating. So the first thing I came up with was the melody. It just came to me. And I'm thankful to Blossom for that because, because of that documentary or the meeting for that documentary was the reason why the song existed. And so I started coming up with the melody, and then I started thinking about what does it mean to travel, and that's where the lyrics come into play, where I say, oh, I wish you knew of the only road to there. So I started to imagine, as a traveler, you want to be able to experience so many worlds, and like you are entering into different spaces, right? And it's almost like a secret. It's almost like it's almost like a very interesting type of secret that only you, if you are a traveler, can experience, right? And so all of that conversation started going on. And the next thing that I was thinking about is, because I started working on Traveler as part of the EP for A Time in the Sun, I started to think that I wanted to collaborate with people, right? I wanted the EP itself to be a collaboration. Like an EP for love. It's an EP for sunny days, right? It's an EP that tells you that this is our time. Like this is a manifestation of our lives in a sense. And so I think we had a bunch of people we had reached out to for Traveler up until Annabelle. Annabelle also, we found each other on Instagram as well. So she reached out and I sent her the song. I told her, what do you think about it? And Annabelle's sound is very popish, right? I asked her, okay, what do you think about it? And she was like, oh yeah, this is very cool. And she brought in like the best sound into it. And that's really how Traveler came about. And yes, of course, there are now other songs from our time in the song that more or less talks about like my experiences after I grew up. So for Allah was more like me growing up from when I was a child, up until my adolescence and my mid 20s, right? And then our time in the sun is more like it's a project that shows where the fact that I've been loved, right? And I'm currently still being loved, right? And I have a lot of people that are supportive around me. And so all of that expression and emotions from different angles is what really brought up like our time in the sun in general. But yes, Traveler, that's the backstory to Traveler.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you very much. Again, please, everyone, if you haven't given Travel a listener, Travel a listen. Please do. If you have any questions for the amazing Celeste, please drop them below. We will go through them before we finish the live. Um, oh, I wanted to ask. So, I don't know if they know, but who produced this EP?
I did, yes. I did produce all the songs in the Yeah, it's very interesting. I think that I sometimes listen to the sound and I'm like, yeah, I can't believe I did this for yeah. Let's go. So Traveler was my full-on production. Annabelle added vocals and I just went and worked with some other people to mix and master it. And I also mixed and mastered some of the songs for my EP. I also had collaborators.
Okay, multifaceted creative.
That's it to be honest. I'm a bit excited and shy
No,
about things, but it's kind of exciting.
I genuinely think you shouldn't be shy about it. I think you need to say it more often. It's really great to have an artist who can make their own music, and the fact that you're taking it from like step one, which is just a song or concept, to like an actual finished track. No, 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 no. Please take your flowers. Take your flowers.
Thank
Very
you, thank
impressive.
you, thank you, thank you.
So we are supposed to highlight a specific song on the project. Would you mind telling us said song?
Yes, yes. The song, guys. Wow, it's very interesting that everybody here they're listening to these things for the first time, right? So yeah, it feels like a secret society right now. But the first song or the second song coming out of the EP is called "This Side of Love." It features me and Doing the Stoic. So a bit of backstory. Doing the Stoic and I have been friends for about 7 years now. From 2019, I don't know what that calculation is. I'm terrible at maths. But yes, from 2019 we've been friends. And yeah, it's the song coming up with This Side of Love, right? The song was really about I'd written it for when I realized that a lot of my friends were leaving Nigeria to other parts of the world. And it really sucked because it meant that, like, they were pulling all of their lives away from me into somewhere else. And yeah, it was a very, crazy moments like that. And I thought about it that, like, I'm on this side of love where and they also where you are able to still show love and still be supportive to your people regardless of wherever you are, whatever world that you're in and things like that, right? But of course this side of love has expanded from that into more things where it's now this side of love, like the part of love that nobody really talks about, the things that you enjoy doing that gives you peace of mind, this side of love that makes you have a calm time where it's almost quiet love. It's not the general type of love. It's platonic love. It's just consistently beautiful across boards. And so yeah, that's the song that we're pushing. It's coming out May 14. Very excited about that. And yeah,
All right.
yeah.
So we get the single on the 14th of May and we get the EP on the
29th of May. Wow.
Hey, look, it's back to back, and I love it. So if they haven't listened to Traveler, they need to go listen to it. And after they've done that, they need to go pre-save, what is it called? This Side of
What?
Love.
Yes, and this as well. Yes.
Wonderful stuff, wonderful stuff. Is the link already in your bio? Like if they go now, can they?
This side of love, right? I think so. I would have to confirm from my team members, but I think so. Yes, I can
Ah,
just
so
send that.
No problem. Doing the story is actually in the live with us. We're trying to get him to join, so we'll give it like maybe a second and we see one. But while we do that, I want to ask Celeste, as an indie artist in Nigeria and Africa, could you tell us maybe some of the struggles you face specifically as an artist?
I wish I had like a long scroll where I'll just open my scroll and I just drop it down and everything just like I just be reading it like this. Okay, so first let's start with gender, right? I'm a woman, so it makes it even twice as hard. I have to prove myself like a lot, right? And so obviously that is crazy on its own. And then, of course, challenges would be that, finding spaces for this type of experiences that I would like to create. It's not that easy especially within Nigeria, because a lot of the times there's not a lot of support. So if you are going to be doing any of these things, you have to have some form of support from your own end, meaning your team, maybe you have an indie label that you're working with, things like that, right? So that's one very big challenge where it's like if you don't have some form of, support or financial backing from different angles, right, you might not be able to actually enjoy the process of being an indie artist within Nigeria. Also, there are instances where with sound, sometimes, although these days that's actually gotten much better, like we've been able to find a good balance for sound in a sense, which is something that is very important for my brand, especially because I also do a lot of live events, right? So we've been able to do that, but sound had always been a problem. Also, timing, like Nigerian time is crazy because like you can start a show by 9 and people are not around until 10. But one thing that has now become a constant is that from within St. Clair, which is like my label, and like within my team as well, I feel like a lot of the fans that we now have are aware that if you don't come on time, you miss the show.
You will miss the show. Yes, yes, I'm 100% here for that. Let's go, let's go. Oh, I love that.
Exactly. So that's about like those are some of the challenges that being an indie artist can be. There aren't a lot of sessions like songwriting sessions or things that you can do that will inspire you, things like that. It's very difficult. So you always have to work with through the struggle to create something extremely beautiful. So yeah.
I mean, it sounds like you're working through the struggle because you're making stuff that is very, very beautiful. But I'd want to ask, because you still are an indie artist, obviously, despite the struggle, despite the ups and downs, you're still here. What would you advise other indie artists that are trying to make it, whether it's Nigeria, whether it's Kenya, but just yeah.
What would I advise other indie artists that are trying to make it? I would say that not give up. It's very important, especially if you can't help doing music. Like I've I feel like if you feel like to a certain degree you are not getting the things that you want to do, it's okay to pause. I've had instances where even some of my music friends have had to pause their music to reevaluate and try to do things that they need to do. So, but don't stop, right? We think, we strategize, everything, we brand, we do everything in a sense that would actually work for you. But yes, don't stop. That's the most important thing, and never settle. Always be evolving. Yes.
Always be evolving. Yeah, yeah, looking on that. I guess I'd want to ask, and then this is, I guess, more of a personal question towards like your music and what you like and who you work with, collaborations. So if you had the option to work with some artists from Nigeria, some artists from the continent, some artists from the world, who would those people be?
That's a very cute question. Wow. Who would who be if I was going to if I was going to work from in Nigeria? I think, to be honest, right, I feel like I'm already living some of my dreams, right? I get to work with doing the story. I don't think it's to actually access it like that. So that's one. Other artists in the Nigerian context, I feel like Thames is very global now. So that's one person that I would like to do music with. Within, I think that another artist that I would like to do music with is Son El, musician. I think he's South African.
Ooh,
He's yes. So
yeah.
yeah, I think that.
If you did like a
That,
remix of one of your tracks, that would be crazy, actually.
oh, that would be insane. So yes, and I also like work. I like Jules. I think it'd be nice to
Mm.
work with him. And
Oh,
I think that hopefully, maybe I think we're supposed to do something together soon. So I'm hoping that's
yes,
like
yes.
that happens.
Also, you have something in motion. They don't know. They don't know.
So yeah, that's about it. To be honest.
Okay, okay. Nah, still a very dope list. I mean, okay, so now again, I've been trying to accept. Yes, yes, we have been trying to get doing the stoic in on the live, but there seems to be a problem with accepting his request. I'm sorry, Maji, but you are still here with us.
Can you have
Sorry?
Can you have more than two people on live? Is it possible?
You should be able to. I think I've seen ones where they have like about three. So I don't know why it's not accepting. But guys, remember, if you have any questions for the amazing, amazing artists that I am chatting to today, please drop them below. As you can see, multifaceted producer, singer, songwriter, event organizer, and so much more. I feel like it's a great opportunity to learn and get to know more. No, it's true. Take your flowers. Like you're doing beautiful, beautiful stuff. On my side, uh, if you were just joining, this is the amazing Celeste Ojatula. My name is Rumbi. This is our first live for some indie picks because I love indie music and I've been looking for indie music all around the continent and I stumbled upon her amazing music. She has an EP called Allo. She has a song that I'm in love with called Awanlo. And we have been chatting about everything, anything, Celeste Ojatula. I guess as we wrap it up, obviously telling people to go listen to your music. What would you want to tell your fans? People who have met you today, people who have been listening to you for a while. Yeah.
What do I want to say to them? Guys, don't worry. There's more coming. There's beautiful stuff coming. Get ready to be blown away. Get ready to be swooned. And, get ready to be inspired. So, yeah, that's
I
it.
love to hear it. People have been told they're going to eat good. There's a lot of music coming this year. I love that.
Yes.
Well, from my side, I'd say thank you very much for joining the live. All the best with the release. I'm really, really excited for it. I think it's going to do really well. It's an amazing, amazing project. You guys are putting in a lot of work. Uh, as you can see, even we have companies like, you must know that the music is great. Thank you for everyone who's joined. Shout out to your team because I know some of them are here. They've been such a pleasure to work with to help put this together. Guys, go listen to her music. Go check out some indie picks. Actually, she's like the first person we mentioned in the featured article. And yeah, Celeste, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. As really appreciate the time. I wish doing could be more, but I guess Instagram is doing its own thing. All of
But
my
now this is
love.
just space for you guys to organize a live between yourselves, and then I'll be excited just to come and tune in for that one.
That would be great. That's a good idea. Got it. Thanks a lot. I really
All
appreciate
right,
your
thank
time.
you very
And
much. All right,
bye, guys.
bye bye.